Hey noble ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. Let's check out the most popular videos I've ever made and let's see if they even made sense at all or if I just lucked out. So for some inconceivable reason of nature, if we click on most popular videos, there are a few videos that got a few million views, as you can see. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. So what's interesting is that I'd like to check out these videos and see maybe why. My most popular video is from 8 years ago and it's top 10 most effective martial arts. I'd like to rewatch a little bit of that with you today and see if I've changed my mind, because I mean, I did do a remake. It's probably in like the 500,000 range, somewhere like that. Yeah, there we go. So I did 10 worst martial arts. That did pretty well. Kind of turned it into a little bit of a series. For those of you who have been on the channel for a while, you know I did most effective martial arts remakes of 6 years ago. And I've got a few others. Maybe they're in the 200,000 range, but I did make a few remakes. Anyways, so that's a video I wanted to check out with you today a little bit. Then I did How Did the Romans Beat the Greeks? That's 7 years ago, 1.9 million views. It's all over the place, that video. In fact, I'm kind of a little bit not ashamed of it, but you can tell that 7 years ago I could not, for the love of the gods of Olympus, get to the point. So I mean, I don't know how, but that happened. So, but I did make a remake recently, and I think it's much more well organized. And of course, it got a lot less views because that's YouTube for you. Then, for 3 million views, we have top 10 most effective helmets. Now, given it's a top 10, so some of you might be like, "Yeah, that's garbage. Top 10s are renowned to be garbage." And I want to say to that, depends who makes them, you muppet. So, yeah, no, I think this video is okay. It's 5 years ago, so I think by then I had learned to not take 17 minutes to get to the point. I think I was only taking 6 minutes to get to the point at this time. But yeah, that's a video that did well. Then we have the Is Jesus Historical? So my Jesus videos are always very well performing. It's just, so you'd be like, why don't you spam them? Well, because they take a long time. They take a lot of research, and I can't have my team to help me, my team of academics, the researchers, the astronaut, and all the others that help me out that obviously don't exist. They're just a figment of my imagination. But unfortunately, my imagination does reach like former archaeologist who used to dig in Syria with 2 years of experience, published author, classicist, Egyptologist, linguist, anthropologist with a postdoctoral degree. Like, that's where my figment of imaginations reach. But Jesus in Hebrew, I have to always like kind of translation of the Bible. Yeah, I just can't imagine one. I tried to imagine one, couldn't imagine it, so I had to try and do it myself. I think I'd like to make a remake of this though, because once again, 28 minutes, but I think it could have been condensed into much better presentation, so I think I'll remake that. Then we have my video on it's one of the videos that I made on LGBT in history. I did put a very, very clear disclaimer at the beginning saying, guys, I don't hate anyone. Every person should be allowed to live their lives however they decide, consenting adults, live your life as you want. I'm just looking at the history. For some reasons, people took that and interpreted it as, oh, Metatron, do you want gay people all to hide in fear so they can't live their lives? That for some reasons, they interpret it like that. So never mind these people then trying to interpret ancient Greek. I mean, if they can't even interpret English, good luck with ancient Greek. Regardless, that's when I started making better disclaimers, I suppose. I literally have sometimes to make disclaimers as if I am writing them for a Denisovan. People will still put it, just like when I'm like, so, I made these 5-7 episodes on actual, real, rich African history, but then I make this other video when I tell you, no, this historical person wasn't black. And then they're like, oh, are you saying you don't want black people on screen? Is that what you're saying? Huh? I mean, my disclaimers are a complete waste of time, but I still like making them for, like, self-pain. So I did What Did Jesus Really Look Like? Ethnicity, 1.8 million. Then there is this, oh my gosh, the TikToker that said that Rome didn't exist. That was beautiful. And then she replied, oh my gosh, she failed so miserably at trying to attack my persona, my ad hominem, of course, because she says Rome doesn't exist. I say, no, Rome did exist. And she's like, oh, how dare you? Then I'm going to attack you directly, because that's what she did. Regardless, she did try to say that because I'm Italian and I like Japan, that makes me a fascist because the fascists in Italy were allied with the Japanese. I'm not joking. Yeah. And then the other thing she did was to say that I had tried to make money with a trail of failed Kickstarter campaigns, which were actually GoFundMe campaigns, and they were all successful, as you could see in the background of the video where she's trying to debunking. And you can see 120% reached of the amount of money that needed for the projects. Every single one of my campaigns was successful, but that's one of the things. Then We have women in armor, of course. Like, it's so funny. 9 years ago, I decided to take a picture of a girl with metal boobs, put her on a thumbnail, and get 1.5 million views. Ever since, I did research. I did Latin translation, ancient Greek sources, iconography, putting on armor, doing this, doing that. No, that gets more views. It's the way the world goes around, I suppose. Then we've got 3 reasons why I wouldn't kill the horse of a night. I mean, a lot of horse enthusiasts, I suppose, appreciated this. And then we have Latin versus Italian. I need to remake this for the second channel. And then, of course, it's the one. Oh, I'm gonna open this one. So it's the one where I was debunking these guys. Yes, I remember that. Oh, it was so fun. And believe it or not, there were some people that were trying to shame me years after the fact, telling me, "Oh, did you know that he actually died? Huh? Shame on you." And I'm like, it's not like I ended him. What the heck? I mean, sure, poor guy. I feel for him. I wish he could live until 150. He was really entertaining guy. And by the way, on these videos, I was never attacking him. I was just laughing at the information presented and the tests. But it is what it is. Then there is this. For the ancient Romans, a fantastic video. Maybe not, but a video that I made 9 years ago. It amassed 1.2 million views. So you're like, wow, you must have got a lot of money from that video. No, demonetized. Why? Or because I say, oh, this bad word that I can't say now. I mean, good luck being a YouTuber who is a Kiwi with a Kiwi accent, and you try to say number 6 with a Kiwi accent, or maybe even a Scottish accent, I suppose. Yeah, good luck monetizing your content. Not gonna happen, because YouTube, or you can post anything you want. You can post naked yoga. You can post tutorials on how to shave your private parts. Oh, that's all fine and dandy. But if you say that word, don't you dare say that word. Don't you dare. It's a dirty, horrible word. Without it, we wouldn't exist as a species. But don't you dare say it. Then, I got really surprised about the mysterious sword of Gojian in ancient China almost getting 1 million views, honestly. And then I got a lot of comments from Chinese people under this video, but I thought that YouTube was illegal in China. So I think that's a lot of people who ended up in jail because they watched my video through some kind of like VPN stuff. I think that's what happened. I'm just going to say, I'm going to get right straight ahead. If you're a Chinese follower and fan of the channel, fan of mine, don't risk it. Don't risk it. It's fine. I really appreciate it. Just don't risk it. Oh yeah, the Stormcloaks are Imperial Skyrim political analysis. This was so fun. Almost 1 million views? Goodness gracious, when did these videos get these views? Because I don't remember any of this. I mean, I remember they were doing okay, but then again, this was before the whole grey arrow, green arrow situation. Yeah, there is a lot of views. Oh, and then there is the whole Bible thing, which is always in the sort of 500,000 range. Yeah, these are good videos of mine. They take, as I say, a lot of time, but they're nice videos. And a random ninja video. I should start talking about the ninja again. Anyways, let's check the top 10 martial arts and let's see if I changed my mind. Okay, to save you the time of your life, I skipped the intro, literally 2 minutes and 5 seconds, just to tell you, on this video we're going to talk about the top 10 most effective martial arts. It took me 2 minutes to do it, so I skipped it, and let's see what we've got.
Number 10.
Yes.
Traditional karate. Now, traditional karate is one of the styles that I have practiced when I was a teenager. Now, it's definitely a very good style and it has a lot of positive aspects.
Already I got to debunk myself because this isn't necessarily traditional karate. This is sport karate. So the Olympics, I believe. Now, given there are some styles that do participate in the Olympics, even though they are traditional, like I think, does Shotokan or Shitoryu, I would consider them to be traditional, absolutely. But maybe I should have showed some kata, some actual fighting, kumite, but in the dojo rather than this.
Aspects.
Which,
but
but
the
whatever.
Why it's number 10 in this list is because
Why?
most traditional karate style are based on
Yeah.
a system called karate.
Yeah, look at the little jumps. Like, that's not traditional karate, for crying out loud, Metatron. What next? What is next? Okay, I gotta try this. What happens if I go 2 speed?
Number 10. Traditional karate. Now, traditional karate is one of the styles that I have practiced when I was a teenager. Now, it's definitely a very good style and it has a lot of positive aspects. And the reason why it's number 10 in this list is because most traditional karate styles are based on a system called karate point. Now, although some of these athletes practicing karate are actually able to perform very, very beautifully executed moves and actually very quick, the restrictions that this style poses, as for example the idea of having these not realistic fights, are definitely a disadvantage in my opinion. The fact that you just simply need to hit the opponent and then the fight is going to be stopped, even if the opponent is still standing simply because you've scored a point, does not make you into a fighter who's used to actual street fighting.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
Now, some people will argue that these are all rules of relation the competition to be safe, but if an actual traditional karateka fighter had to fight for his own life, he wouldn't just stop at the first blow, he would actually continue fighting. My objection to this is that you get good at something by doing it, and you're simply used to stop each time because the referee is giving you the point. Then there will be 2 problems. First, you will not be used to comboing and continuing your fight, and secondly, you will not be used
Holy moly, this was an experience. You know what I need to do? I need to, oh my gosh, you can do this. You can watch this video in 2 speed in this section, so you get 4 speed. Oh, please do it. No, you gotta do it now. Come on, do it. Just click it back, do 4 speed by times 2 on the part where I've already done times 2. Oh, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna broke the internet. We're gonna break, not broke, oh my gosh. We're gonna break the internet. Oh, this is beautiful.
Boxing. Now, often when we think of karate and we compare it to boxing, we immediately think that karate
Yes.
would have an advantage because of the fact that karateka use their legs, whereas boxers don't. But this would be actually a big myth to bust because
Oh, I'm glad. I was about to have to back out. I gotta debunk it. What about the leg work?
because boxers do use their legs a lot in
Yes.
combat. They don't use them to attack, but they do use them to dodge, to move. So leg work is very, very important, if not essential in boxing, just as much as fists. So although a karateka would have an advantage because of the fact that you can use...
Goodness gracious, am I trying to be the new Eminem? Is this regular speed? It is regular speed. Custom, normal. Yeah, this is normal speed. For crying out loud.
more parts of his body to attack, a boxer is used to full contact sparring. And this, as far as I'm concerned, boxing, we bring the punches from box together with the
Kickboxing.
kicks and other techniques similar to that, which we find in karate. All of this with full contact sparring. This is why I think that kickboxing training, at the end of the day, although it lacks all the spiritual training that karate has, which is also very, very beautiful, I believe would have an edge against both traditional karate and boxing.
Nowadays, I would say it depends on the style of karate, and it really depends on the practitioner, of course, which is something I did say at the beginning anyways. Why did they put judo up here? Well,
Martial art, I believe that it is a martial art, regardless of the fact that it is now found in Olympic Games. Now, although
yeah, and so is taekwondo, of course. So I put judo here. Would I put judo here? Well, I do think that martial arts that also teach you throws and ground combat, I think they are very, very, they would always be very advanced in my list. That is why even when I was practicing stand-up martial arts, I was always trying to also learn a little bit of this, grappling and stuff like that. But I wouldn't put taekwondo on top of judo, would I? Probably not.
Number 6, Taekwondo. Well, Taekwondo is a very spectacular Korean martial art that
Yeah.
we all remember
Nice
again
kick.
because of the Olympics. Taekwondo tends to be very interesting because it's basically the opposite of Western box, as Taekwondo tend to focus almost entirely
Yeah.
on their repertoire of kicks, which is the biggest among all martial arts. Now, this is a very difficult...
Yeah, they do have a punch, the one that goes like this, but it's only allowed to the chest, at least in ITF Taekwondo. I don't know if I specify. In this one, in the second one I made, I do specify but only in WTF Taekwondo. In the second video I made, I did actually differentiate ITF with WTF, which I think it was necessary. Now, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu should be pretty high on the list. Number 5, maybe it's not.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Great.
Now, although I would like to put Jiu-Jitsu, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu here as well, together with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I have to say that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a very effective style
Yeah.
because it's almost an improved version of Judo, so to speak. They tend to have less rules and regulations. As one of these guys lays his hands on you, it's going to be a huge problem.
I still agree, but it's mostly because of they focus on ground combat. Then what? Oh, Kyokushin.
Completely different martial art. I have had experience in Kyokushin Karate for
Yeah.
1 year in Japan, and I consider it to be a very effective martial art.
It is.
One thing that it has that makes it very different from traditional karate is the fact that, first of all, it's full contact. Secondly, you can use a lot of knee attacks. You can use your elbows. There is a huge variety of attacks that you can perform. And Kyokushin
Nice.
Karate fighters actually have a lot of training where they simply receive blows and get hit constantly in order to get used to being hit so that they can resist longer, even if they were caught off guard. Now,
Yeah, that was so intense when I was trying to learn this, and it was terrible for me because I'm not a good fighter at all. So doing 1 year of Kyokushin Karate in Japan, getting hit constantly in full contact, was a massive experience. And I know that this will upset some people, but I do think that both Kyokushin Kai and Seido Kaikan are the most effective styles of karate. I understand if you're a practitioner of Goju-ryu, Wado-ryu, Shito-ryu, whatever, you'll get offended, but I'm just sharing my opinion. And at the end of the day, if you are offended, it's because you think that your style is superior to Kyokushin and Seido Kaikan. So at the end of the day, I mean, to each his own. And I still love traditional karate. I put MMA number 3. Now I would put MMA number 1, to be honest. And then what do we have? I put Kung Fu on top of MMA. No. Kung Fu now would be way down the list. So I changed my mind completely. Kung Fu, no. Like, if you practice it, you like it, great. But I think an MMA guy is going to take down a Kung Fu guy 8 times out of 10. And then who's number 1 then? Freaking, I don't know.
Muay Thai.
Okay, well, Muay Thai high, putting Muay Thai high makes sense. But I think now I would put MMA number 1, Number 2, it's kind of difficult, but I might put BJJ. And then number 3, I would probably put Kyokushin or Muay Thai, one of the two. Yeah, that's what I would do. That would be my list right now. What would be your list? Absolutely let me know in the comments. And I think that for this video, I kind of wanted to review this, and I hope you had fun. Kind of a short and sweet video, and I will continue filming so that I can post more videos and have a lot of fun with you. But anyways, I will see you tomorrow for my next daily upload. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.